Two teams, two conferences. It's a road game for the Rockets. And Houston is looking to play Texas big. We're live from Boston. It's the home of the Celtics. Buckle yourselves in, everybody. It's the NBA on. $2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So on the floor for Houston, Beverly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Howard is out there with Beasley. And it's Ariza in the small forward position. And continuing to expand his arsenal last season, Patrick Beverly, the guard for the Rockets. Career highs in assists and rebounds per game, and he's one of the smallest guys on the floor.
Yeah, and he's really working on the details of becoming a better playmaker, becoming a guy that has coaches trust him to handle the basketball in those crucial situations.
Thomas gets the bucket. About a minute played so far here in the first. And Beverly gets to Ariza. Crowder with the steal. Thomas with the ball. And it's Harden picking him up. Bradley. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
No good from Beasley.
And just because you can make it from outside doesn't mean you need to live there.
Not that far out anyway, Greg. I mean, he can work for a better shot than that.
Now here's Bradley. Knocks down the three ball. A slow start here for Houston in this one. Looking for the first basket of the game. Beasley right side. Crowder with the steal. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. Harden. The long distance three is buried. Harden's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for him.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
Thomas. And the rejection by Harden. No good from Howard. Thomas with the ball, and it's Howard picking him up. The shot by Sullinger, wide open. Boston, no good that time either.
And, you know, for the Rockets, they had a major gut check in the second round. Went down 3-1 against the Clippers. Came back to win the series in 7, including Game 6, when I dozed off when they were trailing by 19 in the 4th and was shocked to wake up in the morning and see they had forced the 7th game.
Nice ball movement by Boston. Bradley can't get it to go. Rockets trailed by 4. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Beverly. Harden's got 5 points so far.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Some changes for Boston. Turner comes in for Johnson. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Bradley. And the Rockets making a change here as well. Montiunas is checked in. Turner with the steal. Back to Thomas. Pass to Turner. Shot from 12. But they get it back. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Knocks it loose. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. And some changes here for the Celtics. Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Jared Sullinger. And Jerebko is subbed in for Crowder. Houston with a big group substitution here. Capella's checked in. Brewer comes in for Trevor Ariza. McDaniels, he's checked in for James Harden. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverley. Terry dishes to Moniunas. Back to Terry. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Feeds it to Jerebko. Back to Turner. And Thomas has it in the corner. Pass to Turner. And it's going to be a 3-second call. Houston in the lead. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. The wide open look here for Terry. And Houston again with the bucket.
How good is that? I mean, he can make a defender look foolish at times.
Now Thomas. Here's Olynyk. At the end of... Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from Houston, what do you guys think?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
Bradley and Turner filling out the perimeter. Jonas Jerebko out there with Kelly Olynyk. And it's Smart in at the 1. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics.
Hey guys, KJ McDaniels, I think, has excellent defensive potential. I mean, his long arms and quick jump allow him to block a high number of shots for a 2-guard, and his overall athleticism allows him to match up against 2s and 3s. Offensively, though, he really needs work on practically every measurable skill.
Rockets foul.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
At the line for the Celtics.
Getting back to McDaniels, a high second-round draft pick in last year's draft.
And, Kevin, you know, he was outperforming that draft spot through the first 52 games, but because of a one-year rookie contract, the Sixers felt they might have to overpay him, so therefore they traded him to Houston instead.
The cold, harsh economics, Clark, of the NBA, huh? No luck. Bradley with some nice D.
And if the shot's not there, you've got to understand that. Move the basketball.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm not quite sure what his mindset or what he was thinking there. I mean, that was just a terrible shot.
Here's Ariza. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Marcus Smart was drafted to the Celtics as their future point guard. He came in with a lot of work to do and a skill set that people really liked. But his first season, Clark, was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. He was an off guard in high school and in his first year of college as well. Really only played full-time at the point the year before he was drafted.
Sullinger's checked in for Boston. Jay Crowder comes in for Bradley. Now here's Moniunas. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
And for Smart, though, he still has a lot of work to do on his ball handling and passing. His shooting, I think, exceeded some people's expectations. 37% from the field last year was subpar, but his 34% accuracy from 3 was solid. He finally started going straight up on his jumper instead of leaning in, and his release looked money.
Now here's Turner. Moniunas with the steal. Ariza passes to Harden. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Harden's got the lead up to 3 now for Houston.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Johnson against Modi Eunice. Here's Smart, and he's good on the 3-ball. Smart's got it all tied up now for Boston.
You know, you talk about Smart's lackluster field goal percentage. Once he gets more comfortable with his ball handling and adjusts to the length in the NBA, I think he'll convert more at the basket. That'll also create more drive and dish chances for him as well.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. The Boston Celtics figured to be near the bottom of the league last year. In many ways, they outperformed a lot of people's expectations.
And by no means were they a contender at any point, but they very well could be ahead of themselves in terms of the rebuilding process.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Houston. Howard drives in, and he bangs it home with one hand.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far.
And with the Celtics being a surprise threat near the end of last season, even their losses were close games.
Smart wide open, he fires. The shot's good on the assist by Johnson.
And he has really come to life.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah,
Perhaps.
but hey, he's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one, although if he missed it, I might have.
No good. Good D by Ariza.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Yeah, tit for tat on the glass. Just one more aspect of what's been a very closely contested ball game here.
And Turner kicks to Crowder. Johnson dishes to Sullinger. Shot clock at 6. Here's Smart. Good D by Ariza. The Rockets have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far.
And guys, you know, we've talked about it before, but it bears repeating. Dwight Howard may be the best overall rebounder in the last decade. 5 times out of the last 8 years, he's led the league in rebounding. That's almost impossible to do in the modern NBA.
Johnson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. I'm watching him here, Johnson, Clark. He seems so casual about silently destroying opponents in the paint, and he's carried that air about him almost his entire career.
You know what? He's rarely had plays called for him, Kevin. He doesn't produce a bunch of highlights, but he's really potent. I mean, one of the league's best at defending opponents at the rim, grabbing in-traffic rebounds. Those both are valuable assets.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Sullinger. Jerebko comes in for Jay Crowder. Bradley's checked in for Smart. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Evan Turner. And Brewer kicks to McDaniels. Here's Capella. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Now it's a 4-point Rocket lead. The Celtics working the ball around now. And the basket by Olynyk.
Still trailing, but their offense is off life support here in the second quarter. It's got a pulse.
Good point, Clark. They're starting to make some shots, looking to try and get back in this one.
And Brewer kicks to McDaniels. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Olynyk.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Houston shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. Good on the second free throw.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
And, Greg, definitely that's one of the reasons they're in front right now.
Thomas goes in. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for two. Thomas got his second basket. And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Rockets ahead, leading by a point. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third.
Harden giving them lots of trouble. 9 points and 1 rejection in this game, too.
It wasn't a good one. Really, one of their highlights of the game defensively.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
So on the floor for Houston. Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Howard is out there with Beasley, and it's Beverly in at the 1 spot.
And the Rockets were a tough team last year, but at times it really felt like a one-man show. Harden carried them so much for so long. You just have to wonder if it wore him out.
That was some slick passing from Harden on that one.
Kicks it out to Johnson. That's tipped. Howard with the steal. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break.
Ooh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Here's Thomas. Sullinger is screen on Beverly. And Sullinger kicks to Crowder. The shot is off. Houston leading by 7. On the wing, Harden. He feeds it to Beverly. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Beverly's got 9 points now in the quarter.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's key to this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ariza. Turner's checked in for Boston. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here.
And really no choice but to lunge for that pass to make sure it didn't get through.
Yeah, and that was important. Probably would have been a quick 2 points if he doesn't get a hand on it and knock it out of bounds.
Smart's checked in for Bradley. Shot clock at 3. And it's Turner off the drive. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
Well, so far for Coach Brad Stevens, the Celtics have had nothing but praise for their outstanding young coach. No surprise for those of us who know Brad. The team is really moving ahead in the rebuilding process, and he gets a lot of the credit for that.
Passes to Beverly. Dishes it to Howard. And he dunks it down.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And, Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the other is just kind of stagnant.
And part of the reason why the Celtics are ahead of schedule in the rebuild is because of Coach Brad Stevens. He has everyone on the same page.
You know what? You talk around the league about Coach Stevens, and other coaches are just astounded by his work ethic. People around the league think he's already a top coach and could be one of the greats by the time he's done if he stays at the professional level.
Ariza passes to Beverly. And some nice passing there by Houston. Ariza outside. And there's the call on Howard. That's foul number 2 for him. Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Boston. Jerebko comes in for Jay Crowder. And then for Houston, Capella's checked in. And Moniunas subbed in for Michael Beasley. And here we go. Fast break. Beverly's got it.
Agility leads to thievery there as he's got his hand in there to get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Clark, that's been the story of this game so far. I mean, they cannot hand over any more easy points in the open floor.
Now, here's Brewer. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Beverly dishes to Moniunas. And Smart with a clear path to the hoop. And he gets it to go. Smart's got 9 points.
And really just straight to the basket with a full head of steam.
Well, if you're going to throw it down, make sure you throw it down with force.
Now Turner. James Harden missing on the 3. Here's Jerebko. Rebounded by Capella. Now a timeout called by Houston. Well, last year for the Celtics, they weren't exactly world beaters at home. Still good enough, though, to get the job done.
Yeah, just a game over 500 here in Boston. Not great, but at least it was over 500 for a young up-and-coming team.
Houston making some changes. Goudlock comes in for James Harden. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverly. Rockets leading by 10. And it's Terry off the drive. And that one hits back iron.
And, you know, for the Celtics at home, they were able to get wins by playing tough defense in front of their rabid fans. Their offense virtually the same as when they were on the road. The defense was the difference at home.
Capella gets to Moniunas. Here's Turner. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. The dish to Goudlock. Off with the layup.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. Celtics trail by 10. Thomas is the point with Bradley into his side. Jay Crowder out there with Johnson. And it's Sullinger in at the pivot, manning the middle. That's the Boston 5. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Terry. Johnson kicks to Crowder. The feed to Sullinger. Shot left block. And the lead is down inside single digits. Sullinger's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Celtics. In the corner, Moniunas with it. Howard, the pass to Terry. Here's McDaniels. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
So for the Rockets, James Harden, he's checked in for McDaniels. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Jason Terry. And Sullinger kicks to Thomas. He dishes it to Bradley. Inside. It'll go. The Rocket lead is Cut down now to just 6, and the basket from Crowder.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
Now here's Harden. Maniunas kicks to Beverly. It's Ariza on the wing. Crowder with the steal. For the finish. Pushes it down to finish the break.
How about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Now a timeout called by Houston. And for Sullinger last season, further indication, Clark, that he needs to keep working on his conditioning.
And that was a concern coming into the league with Jared, is just how committed would he be to working on his body all the time and maintaining the level of conditioning that he needs. And injuries have been a part of that not being the case, but when he's out there, he's capable.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, guys, over that break, I was able to catch the message Houston's coach was giving to his team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
And talking about Sullinger, you wonder if he's been in the right scheme for the past couple years. He's not a three-point shooter. He's a back-to-the-basket banger. You want proof? Only hit 28% from behind the arc last season, and that was his career high.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
You know, on the topic of Sullinger, guys, he said publicly that people are doubting him. And he's right. I mean, until he gets in better shape and stays that way, there will always be questions surrounding that part of his game. Hopefully for him going forward, he can be more Duncan than Diao in the way he treats his body.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Maniunas. Thomas dishes to Crowder. Johnson, a wide open look. And the shot no good, a bit short. Beasley outside. Beverly the pass to Beasley. Howard gets to Ariza. And the pass to Beverly. Johnson with the block. Celtics trail by 6. Here's Thomas. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
And that one's good. Beverly.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Stolen by Harden. Howard up on top. And he banks in the layup. And now a 7-point Rocket lead. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Houston.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, but they've also done a great job of playing in space, getting out in transition every opportunity.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number one right now. Nothing easy on the inside.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're up by 5. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. It's Harden with the drive. Beasley outside. Ariza kicks to Howard. Back to Ariza. Crowder with the steal. Inside. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. He hits the first one, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. He hits both from the stripe.
And really just a great rhythm at the line, whether it's a big lead in the first quarter or with the game hanging in the balance.
Now here's Beasley. Back to Ariza. To the inside. And there's the 3-second violation.
And you can tolerate gaffes like that sometimes, but in a close game, man, I tell you what, that really hurts.
Thomas dishes to Crowder. Thomas passes to Johnson. Here's Sullinger. Reverses. Count it, and the foul. That one is on Beasley.
And all quarter long, he's been zeroed in and knocks down big shot after big shot here in the fourth.
Down low. It's in!
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Sullinger's screen on Beverly. Thomas kicks to Sullinger. It's blocked. And they get it back. Good! And oh, that was an enormous three-pointer.
No, but that's the shot of the game.
Well, he was fearless enough to get it up and down, and it paid off for him.
Beasley kicks to Harden. And the foul on Avery Bradley. That's his first foul.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Harden kicks to Beasley. Yes!
Big bucket. They've got to play for a stop here with the 2-point lead. No open threes.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They trailed by 2. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
You know what? You can go for the 3 to win or the 2 to tie. What's your choice in a situation like this, Clark?
Well, I don't think you set that decision in stone and anchor it in this timeout. You see how things play out. You're going to try to get a good, quick shot. And if it's a good 3 with a good shooter, let it fly. If it's something in the paint, then you take that. But it's about being a good, quick shot in this situation.
20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Thomas dishes to Bradley. And it's sent back by Howard. Count it!
And really, I like the fact that even with the big lead, they never coasted.
To me, that's a sign of a really good team, Greg, because you should always be playing against the game and yourself. I know there's an opponent out there, but when you have a lead, it's all about continuing to execute. Do what you do and stay true to that. And I like that aggressiveness and full speed ahead kind of attack that they have.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're trailing by 4. 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, coaches tell them take the easy points in a hurry and then foul as soon as possible.
Yeah, but you don't want to foul blindly, though. I think teams make a mistake when they do that. Go for the steal. See if you can force a mistake, and then see what happens after that.
So it's a narrow victory for the Rockets, pulling it out for the W. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. And that'll do it, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.